It's time to get this painting done and do some tidying in the living room. So if you're ready, it starts now. Hey, what's a project without an injury, right? This thing snapped back at me pretty good and got me in the finger. I was less than impressed, as you might be able to tell. And there was a magnet up here which I pulled off, and I am going to get this painting pretty much over and done with. There's still a spot over the pellet stove that needs to be painted, but you know, it was hot and didn't really want to squeeze in there. I had to remove all the sound from this video because I was actually listening to music, if you can't tell. I was listening to some Jelly Roll and didn't want to get flagged for that, so I'm going to be adding some music in along with my voiceover. And if you've been missing some of Max, there he is and there he goes. But don't you worry, he will be back soon enough. He's always in the middle of everything. So I'm hoping this week that I'm able to get out to the thrift shop that's out by the mall, and I want to go buy a large piece of art for behind the couch. I'm not going to go to Walmart or anywhere online and buy something that everybody else has. I want something that is going to make a statement about who we are. So chances are I may go and not find anything, and at that rate, I'm just going to have to place something on the wall for now, which I think I actually do already have a placeholder, but it is not what I want to keep long term. I'm really looking for something that just jumps out at me and speaks to me. And I want it to be really large because I've waited a long time for this wall. And I'm going to make it worth having it. So hopefully I can find something really interesting. If not, I'll just keep looking. And yes, I took the lazy way and I painted around the fire alarm, and now I'm going to have to do the unlazy thing and get up there and with a magic eraser and scrape and wash the paint off it, because I did end up getting some on it, and you know how that looks when you get something on something that where it don't belong, it ends up looking terrible. So I am going to have to get up there and scrape the paint off. I will tell you one thing that I wish that I had done differently when it comes to this house, and that is that the day that we came here to look at this house, or even the day that we came here to start fixing this house, I wish that I had documented it, either with pictures or video or whatever. If only all of you could see where this place came from to where it is now, you would be pretty amazed. I mean, it is by far not perfect, but let me tell you something. It is day and night to what we walked into. The words that were used for this house were uninhabitable, if that tells you anything. And yes, it has its quirky, weird issues, and it has things that need to be finished properly, and lots of other things, but I'm gonna tell you, it's come a long way. Well, I'm gonna tell you, Max has graduated. It is time for the litter boxes to live upstairs now that he is a big boy and he knows where the litter boxes are. He has graduated from needing a litter box down here, and the litter box has been removed. Yay! I could not be happier, and everything is going well with that. So finally, I can use the gate freestanding as it was intended to be, now that the dog can't push it back out of her way. And, if I need to block the fire wood pellet stove off for when the baby comes over, the grandbaby, I can. But I can also use the freestanding gate to block the dogs behind the couch when I'm bringing in groceries, so I am not tripping over them. Big yay. Because that is what makes the freestanding gate so wonderful, is it's easy to move around, and it's going to all work out. I'll be very honest though, I am glad to have the litter off the main floor, because most of my older cats tend to stay upstairs. Hammy being the oldest that we have, she does not leave the top floor anymore. She stays up there. She doesn't like the ruckus of the kitten, but she was staying up there long before that, and he doesn't really bother with her anyway. But I am just happy to have the space cleaned up. I was sitting on my couch this morning thinking to myself that the living room was starting to look very cluttered, and I was becoming quite unhappy with that. So I was happy to be able to move the gate, give it a different use, and, I can still use it for when the baby comes over. One thing that I do really need to do is go through my throw blankets upstairs and get some more neutral type throw blankets down here, ones that are not for the holidays. The one that Greg has is fine, but I realized today that I was going to need to take the cover off the ottoman to wash it, and all I had down here was a Christmas blanket. So I'm going to get all of those washed and put away for next season, and I'm going to bring down some of my blankets that are not holiday blankets, or I may even splurge just a little bit and order a couple of Valentine's Day throws. I know, terrible, but they get used year after year anyway. I don't know why I apologize when I decide that I'm going to buy something new. Maybe it's because the internet has convinced everybody that we need to live so minimally, that it's a terrible thing to have things around us that we enjoy and love. But I can't seem to get with that trend. I can't seem to embrace it whatsoever. I enjoy my things. I enjoy the things around me, and when they stop giving me joy, I give them to somebody else that they will bring new joy to. And I don't see that as harmful in any way, shape, or form. I think as human beings, we all need to stop apologizing for the very things that make us who we are, that make us different and interesting, and embrace those things so that others can learn to embrace themselves as well. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of sorting here and some changing out. And no, I'm not really getting rid of anything. I'm just pulling out some of the toys that are for older kids away from the baby toys. I'm taking the snowballs out and I'm actually going to get rid of them. They look a little icky and dirty, so I'm not going to bother running them through the machine. I'm just going to let them go. Weston seems to be not so interested in them anymore and just plays with the toys, so that's just what I'm going to leave in the basket for him, is the toys, and for his bigger cousin, the little magnetic dolls and the Barbie and the little cars, I'll put in the bag for her and set them to the side so that he's not playing with things that are too little for him. And that way I will not have such a huge basket sitting here. All the cat toys, somehow it didn't get shown, but in the little TV, retro TV thing, the cats really don't lay inside of it. So I took all the cat toys and put them inside the retro TV so that Max could still get them out and play with them, which worked out just fine. And the smaller basket worked out fine for the toys that we have in the living room. And the laundry basket that is left, I'm actually going to be putting beside the inside of my front door because we are inundated with shoes that get set there, so I'm just putting it there so that the shoes have a place to go once they dry off. And I'm going to get this area over beside the table picked up and get the surge protector on the wall. And no, I'm not going to drill any holes. I'm going to use, you guessed it, alien tape, my favorite. Hopefully it doesn't rip half the wall down if I decide to move the surge protector, but you know how that goes. Anyway, let's get this up on the wall, and there is my Mocha cat. How many of you have tried the alien tape, and what did you think of it, and what did you use it for if you did? I absolutely adore this stuff. I think I should be sponsored by them. That's what I think. I've even used the nano tape from Temu, which is basically the same thing, and I will tell you that stuff worked just as good. It was pretty good at ripping the drywall down too, just like regular alien tape. Before I paint my kitchen, I'm going to have some spots that need to be patched up. So, I did want to let you guys in on what some of my goals for the next 2-3 months for this channel are, as far as project videos. One of them is going to be the ceiling is going up, and that is going to be happening. It should be towards the end of this month. I am only going to do the living room portion of the ceiling, and the office can wait. Just for simple cost reasons, I want to make sure that the living room ceiling is done properly and all of the materials that are needed are bought to do that ceiling so that it looks exactly right. And another one is that I will be painting the kitchen, and I have decided to do the paint. The consensus was, when I asked about it, everybody really thought that that should be what color it should be, because that's the color that reminds people of me. I couldn't begin to guess why, but so yeah, I'm going to be doing the kitchen pink. I'm going to be figuring out in my office what I'm going to do with this wall behind me, how it will be covered, whether it be drywall, pegboard, or something else. I don't know yet. I'm still kind of working through that in my head to figure out how I want it to be so that I can get things organized. And those are the 3 main projects that I want to get done within the next few months. And we have come to the end of yet another video. I thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, have a wonderful day. Happy cleaning. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.